Have you noticed we live in a world where mice can't shoot us? And we can't physically harm them because they're too fast and we can't just catch them? Well, you know, times have changed. This is Mouse PI for Hire, released on April the 16th, on my birthday. And you might be asking yourself, what are we going to be doing in this game? Well, shit go bad, we solve. And we're going to be beating everything up with Hulk hands like it's our unintelligent little brother. We play as Jack Peppers, going through and getting clues and solving cold cases no one else would touch. Like, what does an official Sean Combs Diddy party smell like? Sadly, that might be something we just have to imagine. Warning, this video might have a little bit of spoilers, so if you didn't play this game, please go do so now. Anyways, let's see if you can beat Mouse PI only using your fist. This is the start menu, and this is the difficulty select menu. For speed reasons, we keep it on rookie so I don't spend my whole life in this game. We get thrown into the tutorial, nothing special, we learn how to jump and shit, but we get our first enemies with the melee and gun mice. Now these are the flies of this world because they're everywhere, and this is basically how the first one went. Yeah, I guess you can say I'm not complete trash, but I'm still in the shitter. But if you didn't notice yet, this game is a boomer shooter. And if you don't know what that means, it's basically like Doom. And if you're still confused, we go in a room and we kill everything that moves and move on. Now speaking of killing things, you might have already saw in the little montage, we only have 3 attacks. The normal fisting move, the kick, and the why I oughta spin move. Now besides the first room and the mice that are just scattered in a level, there's only one more room in here. So we just plow right through them and get thrown into the second mission, the Vanishing Act. Just don't get it twisted with your dad. Anyways, here's Wanda. She's gone now. We get the green room key and get the glue and come across these mice to show them what these fingers do. The next objective in this mission is to reach the assistant's apartment. To do that, we have to fight our way up through this apartment complex. These mice pose no challenge to me. We start to blow our way through this place and finish our fun on the back of this poor mouse. More mice come, but they just can't handle my load. We make our way back to the streets just to get ambushed by a gang of thirsty mice. No worries, we brought the right tool to the job, our fist. Now the subway is where we're at, and it's just a straight shot to where we need to be. But god damn is there a lot of enemies here. But I'm a big mouse, I get through these mice with no drop on my chin and shit on my fist. We speak with Miss Betty Figgle, which is the end of the mission, and finally make it to the overworld. Yeah, this is your typical overworld, pretty basic. What do you want me to explain it to you? Have you ever played a fucking game? The only thing you need to wrap your pretty little mind around is we have to pin our clues on the wall to get to the next mission. So that's what we're gonna do. Second mission is Gumshoe in the opera. Our first task is to locate the stage designer, but that doesn't come with some mice we're gonna have to deal with. Now to get through this part, we have to throw dynamite at the wall. And to me, since we're throwing dynamite at an environment object, it doesn't really count because we're not killing anybody. So I say we're perfectly good. Now we find a stage designer with his cheeks just wide open. I wonder what happened. But we find the shotgun. We can't use it, so we have to stick it in our ass wallet and we just blast the enemies with our fist. We find more mice to give them the same procedure we did to the last mice, an ass pounding. Next room we get our new mouse type, the sniper. He shoots from afar and runs away when we get close to him. But he's still old enough to get all 10 fingers plunged straight into him. We beat the rest that's left and battle our way through mice, and more mice. It's like 4 rooms of fisting in a row, but there's a nice little reward waiting for us at the end of this orgy. It's double jump. Anyways, we continue on the food trail, which leads us to our first boss fight. Now this big hunk of mouse meat ain't nothing much. She has basic attacks and are really easy to dodge, so she's really easy to beat and get fills up like the rest of them. A big old fire breaks out at the opera, so we have to run out while giving my fist something to do. We get saved by the stage designer and make it back to the office and pin those cases to the pin board. Next mission on our list is Bandel's laboratory, and boy, this mission was a doozy. On the way to the lab, we come across these new enemies which are dressed as cult members. Don't get it twisted, they get the same girth as the other enemies. We ride this elevator right down to the pleasure basement, which means we got more holes to fill. A little later, we find ourselves in the middle of the lab, fucking up all the rest of the mice, and getting a new gun to look at and enjoy. After all that happens, this leads us to going Mike Tyson on the rest of the mice and leads us to our next boss fight. Now, this be Betty. She's a little harder than the big mouse we were taking on at the opera, but this bitch metal. But still, nothing compared to my fist of steel. You may ask, what's next after this boss fight? More mice? Well, yes, there is. Now, this is the second boss fight with Betty. Did I mention this bitch is fucking metal? Now, is this Betty boss fight number 2 harder than the first one? No. If you simply back up an attacker, it's a little too simple. Now, after more enemies and more switches, we're finally onto the final boss fight. This metal bitch Betty reached their 3rd stage. Finally. She's goonable. But finally, we gotta answer the real questions. Is she as hard as me? Yes, she has all the attacks from her other fights, but if you're a god gamer like I am, you can still sauce her up real good. We finally grab this last clue and get the fuck out of this long mission. Ah, my favorite part. Putting clues on the wall. Next mission is a bit of a scene. Now the first fight went off without a hitch. The second brawl we got into, we got a new mice to fight, and damn! This mouse is fresh from the slammer looking to do unconsensual actions to my body in holes. But my fist has 2 words for him. This mouse ass ain't yours, but your ass is mine, and I may fuck it only with your consent, good sir. But even though he's bigger than me, he still goes down with a hole bigger than Uranus. Get it? You get it? Get it? Okay. Now this is the shit I want to see in my melee only run. Yeah. Subway time equals dinner time because their asses are on my plate. We get a little Popeye section, like a Popeye's tribute. Pretty cool, but this area is literally hold RT the section. We infiltrate the police section just to get ambushed by these cheap pounders. Now the basement has a big room with big enemies and math. Bro, like, what the fuck is that shit? Bro, we kill them all and we just fucking move the fuck on. I'm not doing that shit. I end up in a tight hallway with tighter enemies. Temptation is real, but we still end up killing them one by one. Now for the final section, mice are coming deep everywhere but in me, because that's not happening. I run past all of them because I'm not getting my asshole stretched the size of a fucking cheese wheel. Yeah, the next mission is Cheeseball Sub. Right off the bat, they hit us with the big room with the big enemies. They're all dead. Now you gotta believe me when I say this mission's literally walk straight, get in a room, enemies, dead, move on. But we do run into a new enemy type. They ain't as bad as some other people say. Some people don't like them. I don't mind them, but the only downside is they're too small to fuck. But even if they're small, they're still not safe from this god fist. 1 room, 2 room, 3 1, 4 room. Fuck you and fuck this rhyme. Finally, big boss to make loose, and boy was it a long one. Not his crocodile, but the fight itself. He had his little peeps attack me while he was going lane to lane shooting me, but after a while, a fucking long while, 30 minutes to be exact, I got the hang of it and managed to beat it out and release his soul back to fucking hell. We also got a little move as like a little wind, little spin too, boo boo, but we don't need that. We don't even worry about that. But what we need to worry about is these enemies. After about like 10 minutes of straight enemies after that one boss fight, we finished the mission. Yo, fuck the clue. Next mission! Once Upon a Time by Tinsel Bros. That's the mission name if you didn't know what I was reading to you. If you thought the last mission was long, this mission's even longer. No, it's about the same, but it has no boss fight. So here's every enemy I just pounded in this mission. Yes, that was all from that one mission. Anyways, let's get the fuck out of here. Honestly, this is my favorite part in the game. And I guess the second part are the missions. This is a bit of curd and pepper. This mission has no mice to fight in it, so yeah, let's move on. Straight to Saltwater Cambozo. This is a bit of a chase mission. We gotta chase this big guy around, and what do you know? Mice along the way. I've been pounding ass so much, I need a break. But there is no time for that. We clear the bar of all the drunks, go outside and get put in a mandatory finger gun that we cannot get past this fight without using. Now, you might have thought, oh boy, this run is over, but you're wrong. Dead wrong. Even though we can't use our fist, we can still use our boot to gently put it in and out of these mice's asses. Even though this is a fist only run, I still use the boot, but the reason we don't use it a lot is because it sucks. It fucking sucks for killing mice. It takes around 5 kicks to kill a normal mice and a buttload of stamina. But after literally 10 minutes of kicking mice, we finally moved that past this part to get to the next. Now this part is difficult. Now, the cop goes into the building. In order to proceed, the only way to damage him is to shoot the building with a cannon. Now, you can argue that since we're damaging the building and not him, technically, we aren't killing him. The building that's falling down on him is killing him. It's a really hard stretch. I personally think I can go with that. I'm pretty sure I can go with that because we're not damaging him. It's the building. It's building follows him. I try to hit him through the building, but it's just it's impossible. The only way to damage him is the cannon and the building coming down on him. So technically, the building killed him. I'm gonna go with that. After giving the guy the 1-2 like we couldn't do through the building, we go ahead and move on. Now this mission straight ahead after this is straight enemies, nothing else. Some switches, yeah, of course, you know, we gotta put switches to get through. But it's just enemies until we get to the final part of the mission, which is another room, and then we leave. Finally home. I'm so tired, but the first thing I gotta do is pen these fucking clues. Next mission is White Lies and Dark Secrets. First room goes good. We end up having to get some rings from some ghosts. So we are officially the Ghostbusters, but we're going to be busting these ghosts wide open with our fist. Now, the first 2 aren't boss fights, but if there's one of 3, you know there's something epic at the end. And the third one is a boss fight, I just want to let you know. Have you ever wondered what it'd be like if a napkin rubbed itself across your face? Yeah, that's about as hard as this boss fight is. But what we have to do is hit her until she gets into her little ghost bubble, and then use the fleshlight to shine it on her until she's out of it, and then we just rinse and repeat. We finally collect all 3 rings so the wives take their husband to meet Hades. What do you think's in this mansion? If you'd guess mice ready to be dominated and controlled, you're right. But it looks like the tables have turned, because it's my turn to get dominated and controlled, because I have my first death in this fuck-ass mansion. Got my cheeks pounded, not a proud moment, but I'll take it. Mice Jesus gave me a second chance and we killed everybody. We find a child in the attic. Good thing we're not EDP because this child would have trouble. But that's the end of that mission. We don't even go home, we go straight to the next mission, and the next mission is called Mission. No, it's not called Mission, it's called Mission. No, it's not called Mission, it's called Depth Evidence. Are these mice to you? Because I'm like red, all I see is ass. Anyway, we get a semi-open world, which is pretty cool. This game is pretty good, you should play it. Even though it's an open world, it might as well be a hallway to us. A hallway of ass to beat on the way to our destination. Well, a couple rooms later, we get into our first boss fight. And oh boy, I thought this was the end. This guy's on a platform that you can jump and hit him, but he's also throwing bombs at the floor, which is destroying it completely. After dying 2 times, I figured you can jump on a light and onto the platform in which I can vitally beat him to death. And oh boy, that's not even the final boss fight. There's 2 in this mission. So we're just gonna skip to the second and the last one. Oh boy. Now this fight is a run killer. Now let me tell you why. So you got 7 platforms to jump to, right? But if you stand on one too long, you sink into the water that constantly damages you. And the mice you have to hit is constantly moving in and out of these platforms, which makes it really hard to hit them. And if you try to hit them, let's say you try and jump on them and land on them, it shoots you flying up. So you really can't hit him too much, you gotta hit him at the most specific angle. You see my trouble, right? Now there's one guy who tried to do this, but couldn't get past it, but there is a way to do this with only your fist. And it is having patience. The only real way to hit him really is to wait for him to be at the exact right spot. But the good thing is that he's not on a random path. He is on a fixed one, thank fucking God. The two paths that I had the most success with is the one where he goes in the middle and the path where he goes on the far bottom. But I still had to find a way to hit him, and the best way I found out to do it is when he gets in those exact spots, jump in, hit him, and quickly jump back before I hit the water. And here's a little fun fact. His bullets do less damage than the water. The water fucks you up. His bullets do nothing. He is shooting marshmallows at you. So if you ever find yourself doing the challenge for whatever fucking reason, and you find yourself in a situation where you either fall in water or get shot by him, get shot by him. I swear to God, it's gonna work. Trust me. Dude, after that long, hour-long fight, I don't even want to tell a joke, man. We go back to the office, put the clues on the table, and fucking move on. Our next mission is, yeah, my dyslexia is not gonna let me say that. And we're in the sewer, you know, every game gotta have its sewer level. Real question though, are these mice or rats? Because they're rolling deep in this sewer shit. Okay, let me stop with the questions. This mission is pretty good, I like it, but it is one of those levels where there's nothing but enemies. And what I mean by that is like there's no boss fights or nothing challenging in it. It's just rooms, you go into another room, you finish one room, and you go in another room. That's basically it. I love these levels, but just watching it, you see me kill 100 fucking mice. That's what I'm doing, but 10 times over. Really nice level, but still really not much to show, but you know the drill. Clues and the next mission. A swamp oddity happens to be our next mission and is probably the shortest level in the game. It's still your typical level with mice everywhere and rooms to explore. They had this one chandelier that just killed me instantly. But after that, it's your typical mission stuff. I'm beating ass all over the place, and then it ends with a cute little maze. It's pretty scripted, but it's still a maze. Last fight of the mission, they're all gone. The office is where I go to pin the clues on the pin. You know what? Fuck it. Fuck the clue board. You probably noticed this little bug I've been having every time I start at the mission where I think it's my glove that's just expanding across the screen. And I swear to God, it's getting bigger by every mission. But this one's called It's All Points Here, right? And this is the Circus Mission. We get a couple enemies in the first room, and in a second room, I died by this sign. But it's alright, I have 9 lives. Or is that dogs? Anyway, we clear the room and get to the real circus, which probably is the place with the least amount of enemies. I swear to God, like, there's not an enemy in sight. We managed to get wall jump even though there's no enemies around, but hey, I'll take it. We get put in another mandatory pew-pew section while looking for tickets, and you know what that means? We have to kick everybody to death, and it fucking sucks. This takes so long. It makes me imagine how much time it would take to do a kick-only run. That would fucking suck. Lava room is next, and it's a pretty snooze face. I got a weird little glitch at the TNT section where I actually couldn't pull it out. We have more mice to kill in the last big room, and then we move on to the final boss fight. And damn, this fight is annoying. This guy just shoots you, teleports away, and that is it. His movements are pretty random, so you can't really tell where he's gonna go. He shoots you once, teleports, and the bad thing is his bullets do nothing to you. It's like he's shooting Mike and Ike's at you. And yeah, that's really it. It's not a hard fight, just really annoying. But anyway, everybody has to go down, and this bitch went down hard. Yo, I am feeling this board up. No consent. Oh jeepers, we got to this mission. This is one few, the longest mission in the game. You want to know how long this mission is? We go to a lab, then a dream, and so happen to go to hell. And the thing is, there's nothing that challenges us either. It's just a very normal mission with rooms and mice to fight just like the others. But that's it. Of course, there's a story too, but we're not here for that. We're here to see if we can pound our way through this game, no consent. Plus, the boss fight at the end isn't the best. It's actually one of the easiest ones in the game. So there's what is there to look forward to besides beating ass? If you played this on the second playthrough, you already know it's coming. So yeah. And I don't want you to think I'm dogging on a level. I love this game and I love this level. But for the fist only playthrough, there's not really much to show because it's just the same thing I've been doing this whole gameplay, just running through enemies. Pause. The boss fight is against Steve Bandel. He's a pretty important character in this story, but you want to know how we beat him? We stand still. That's basically what it is. It's literally a card match game, and that's it. We so happen to match all the cards successfully. Did we beat him? No. My fists were nowhere near his ass. So happened not to get his cheeks, but he's on the board now. Next level is to catch a Mickey Mouse, and there's literally no fighting except the boss fight. Of course, we end up in a little brawl for the final fight, but the final enemy is in a plane. How the hell do we do anything to him? We can't extendo gadget our fist all the way to the sky. So what do we have to do? We have to use cannons to hit him. Now, does this count? Does this really count? Technically, speaking technically, the cannons are an environmental weapon, which means it's not a part of my arsenal. So technically, I am still pretty good. I'm sure. I'm gonna count it towards me, baby. If you don't count it, it's whatever. But the plane crashes and we gotta make our way to an inflatable plane. What kind of fucking shit is that? An inflatable plane in my 1930s, very cartoon New York mouse game? I'm leaving this shit a 6-star review. Pranked. Next mission is Glugging from the deep. I'm not gonna say nothing about that. Pretty normal mission. We got holes to fill and rooms to conquer. The main objective of this mission is to find a way to go underwater. So we talk to Tammy so she can build us a diving suit. So we gotta get our little rubber suit, our little diving helmet, and we end up like a gaming legend. We end up being a big daddy. But we're just doing the same shit we're doing above ground, filling as many holes as we possibly can. Boss fight time, but it's not a boss fight, it's like a semi-boss fight. We have to destroy these little towers in each room to progress to the next room, and connected to those little towers are these machine gun turrets that we have to destroy also to progress. I'm not gonna lie, this was a semi-hard boss fight. Now I'm not gonna say I was having so much trouble they were handing my ass on a silver platter, but it wasn't that easy either. They had a time limit, so it was kind of hard. It was making me nervous. And after you destroy everything, this red doctor comes out and starts beating you with a crack needle out of nowhere. And I was low on health, and there had no health pickups anywhere, so I was so nervous that I didn't want to die, but we squeaked it out in the end. The Bookkeeper by Tinsel Bros is the next level. Did I disappoint you by not showing the clue board? Well, I am sorry. Mice once existed in this room. That is all I'm going to say. Yeah! God, I hate it when I have to use my feet for killing. They were only meant to be used for pleasure. Beating these dogs give me great pleasure. Fun fact about the cheese bandit. I am sorry for cracking these fuck-ass jokes, but there's just not much to focus on in this level. You see these peppers? I could have been picking these babies up the whole time in this game. I'm just that retarded. After a couple more ass beatings, there's a Indiana Stone style like train scene where we gotta run away from a train, and then that's the end of the level. Here's a little prank on the people who are sleeping. Clue board. Fatal Repulsion is the next mission. Sounds like me next to a bunch of women. Why is this mouse turning me on, and how many tickets do I need to earn to fuck it? Forget about fucking the rat. This is amazing. I forgot the mission. This mission is like a mini boss run, so let's skip right to the first one. The first one is this judge girl, and I thought it would be impossible to do this because look how high she is. But it is extremely easy, because if you're standing on a podium, you can jump to the door, then jump on the balcony, then jump to her platform and beat the living fuck out of her. Next boss is a furry. Guys, do you fuck with furries? Me personally, I would never let my finger near one. But the real question is she pretty easy? Yeah, she's probably easy. She just throws candles at you. All you gotta do is run up and beat her ass. Third boss is this guy. His key feature is his gun. Now this guy is fucking hard. No, he's not. He's pretty simple. He's actually not even hard at all. It just takes a lot of patience because you hit him for a little, then he disappears and sends some of his goons to go goon on you. And he also throws bombs at you, but it's still a repeat process that you have to do a couple times until he's low health. But I do like that his final stage is actually fighting with fist. You never really know you love someone until it's gone. That's the last time I see you, clue board. Goodbye. As Jack Pepper goes to sleep crying, he whispers, I love you, clue board. We wake up from the saddest nap ever to come up to the worst day ever. This bitch is on fire. We get thrown straight into this mission called Jack Squat. We gotta fight through our way to a bunch of enemies until we get to a new boss fight. Did I say new? I meant old, wretched, mangy looking ass mouse that's come back to get our revenge. But luckily, it's not as hard as the first match. because all you have to do is really jump on these drains, which he teleports to, and if you're just standing on, he teleports directly on you. You can just beat the fuck out of him, or you can go hop to each one and just hit him. It's really not hard, it's pretty easy. After that boss fight, there's nothing left, and we leave to the next mission, which is the House of the Empty Mouse. Pretty cool level, lots of enemies, but even more puzzles. And if you want to see that, play the level yourself. Next mission. Oh boy. Final mission is called Fair Enough. And it's just like your typical level. We fight everywhere, fight on a boat, fight on the ground. You know, we fight everywhere. We end up getting monkey powers, and we only get to use them for like this one mission. But besides that, I'm not gonna lie to you, this mission is pretty easy. It's just a straight run of rooms till we get to where we want to be, which is what I'm gonna show you. You must be feeling a little bit of deja vu, because this is the start of the game. This is the first mission, dog. When we first played this level in the beginning, it cuts to black here, but not this time. We end up falling on the Tammy's plane. Good catch, I guess. Now you would think this section would be hard, but it's really not. You're just jumping from plane to plane, hitting every enemy you can until you eventually just leave this section. And here it is, the big mouse himself, Malfoy Sawyer. Right off the bat, we start beating shit up, and it starts going good. First part of the boss fight goes smoothly with these speakers we have to destroy. All I'm saying, they need to close that mouth. The second part, you know, we gotta have one. We gotta fucking laser dodge. There's actually 2 rounds of destroying speakers and getting hit by lasers, but I just skipped the second half because it's the exact same thing. Now the next stage is like a mini boss fight against this one guy, and to defeat him, we just have to hit him. That's really it. But there's enemies everywhere, and it's not the hardest. It's like that one fight in the water where you have to wait and be very patient. It's the exact same thing from here, but minus the damage. But even though it takes a long ass time, we finally kill him. I don't know his name, but he's dead. But finally, we can start beating the fuck out of Malfoy, somewhat. Now that last boss fight, that mini boss fight, was around like 20 minutes it took me to do. Well, yeah, this one's 2 times longer. I'm not even joking. He's on this platform and he goes in and out from left to right to on top. And the only way to hit him is to jump and hit him when he's on the lower section of it, while getting hit by a bunch of enemies and getting hit by his attacks. And around 20 minutes in, I died. And I had to redo the first mini boss fight. Holy fuck, that shit pissed me the fuck off. But we beat him a lot faster because we know his moves now, and move on to Sawyer. Now Sawyer, I feel like his first stage is not hard. It's just a lot going on at once. He's throwing bombs at you, there's enemies everywhere, and the more you kill, the more they come after you. But what felt like literally an hour, we got him down to half health, then eventually 25. And guys, I have bad news. Once he reaches 25% of health, he stops moving from left to right and just stays on top of the podium right in the middle. And from that point, it is impossible to hit him no matter what you do. I can't find anything to jump off to hit him, can't jump off the enemies to hit him, and your punches can't reach him when you jump or double jump to him. So right here, it is safe to say that is impossible unless there's another way, unless there's a glitch or something to try to hit him, but I could not find one. I could not find anything on this boss fight. No glitches or nothing. So it's sad to say that this is probably crazy because it's the fucking last boss fight, 25% left. He only had like fucking Skittle bar of health left, and you cannot hit him. I can't. I tried everything. It fucking sucks. So I have to do the one thing I can only think of: blast his ass to death. Sadly, this fucking sucks. But we finish him off, and we actually give him a 3-piece. But it's too late. We rescue John, and everybody is safe and happy. But the real question is, can you beat this game only using your fist? No. And it fucking sucks that it's literally the last boss fight. We have to figure that out. It was a really good journey, and I love you if you watched. But if you did watch, and if you want to, subscribe. I would really love if you do that. Anyway, this is me. I love you. Goodbye.